Hello everybody! Today we're going to unbox, take a close-up look and test the Noctua NH-L12S. So let's first take a look around the outside of the box. So in this box is a Noctua NH-L12S CPU cooler or CPU heatsink. And here are some of its features. And taking a look at the back of the box, there's some product information in various languages. And technical specifications of the Noctua NH-L12S. And now let's go ahead and open up the box by pulling out the tab that's keeping the box lid shut, and then taking a look directly inside now that we've lifted up the box flap. And let's pop the contents out from the box packaging and set them on the tabletop. So just checking to make sure nothing is hidden or attached in the inner protective packaging. And now let's carefully lift the heatsink from the box packaging, and let's do so very carefully here. So that's the protective cap or cover that was protecting the base plate of the heatsink, and just checking through in the box to make sure nothing else is left behind. Let's close the box up and set it to the side. So let's set it on the right hand side of the frame and do some adjustments here just to neaten out the items which were removed from the box packaging. And I'm just going to put the protective cap back on the base plate of the heatsink so I can put it in the right orientation. Just being very careful here to open up the packaging of the heatsink. And now I can set it on the tabletop so you can see that it does come with Noctua's NF-A12x15 fan. So it does have a variable fan speed of up to 1850 RPM maximum speed, but with the low noise adapter. So I'm just checking the rest of the box packaging here, making sure nothing else is tucked under there. So that's all fine. We can set it to the side. So setting the Noctua NH-L12S in the middle of the frame. So it is an aluminium heatsink with a copper base plate, and with the rest of the accessories in the box on the right, just showing you the contents which we've removed so far. And now let's open up this box right here with the accessories so you can see the contents included, the accessories, and the SecuFirm 2 mounting system. And right there, giving you a close-up look at this inner box from Noctua's NH-L12S box packaging. Now let's open it up, of course, by pulling out this tab on the side. And of course, lifting up the box flap to reveal the contents inside. So giving you a look directly into the box with the SecuFirm 2 along with the rest of the accessories. So let's see if I can remove everything from the packaging and set it neatly on the tabletop so you have a good clear view of all the items and accessories that come with this CPU cooler. So there, as we continue to remove the contents and set them on the tabletop. So you can see there are some bars as well that go on the motherboard, and this packet here that comes with Noctua's NT-H1 thermal compound or thermal paste, and some other items in that packet, but we'll take a close-up look in just a moment. It's nice to see that it comes with a screwdriver as well, so everything you need is included in this box packaging. So very comprehensive accessories box, and let's see if I can figure out and lift this inner card insert out. I'm just going to set that down on the tabletop for the time being, but we'll of course remove the rest of the contents and separate it from the card insert in just a moment, just checking through that nothing else is left behind. So being very thorough here, always making sure that everything has been removed from the product packaging. So okay, so we're going to set the mounting plate, the rear mounting plate. You can see right there some branding and product details. Just going to set it there, and of course with this inner box I can set it to the side, perhaps on the left hand side of the frame, which is partially showing, but that's just fine. Okay, so right here, and now continuing to unbox and remove the items from this inner insert, just showing you what's there. So you can see the two mounting bars for different socket types. And let's see, so simply popping that off and setting that on the tabletop. So plenty of bits for different socket types or platforms. So setting that down as well. And lastly, there is a little packet here, just being careful not to spill the contents out from it. But it's nice to see that it is properly and thoroughly sealed. And just checking through, and with that inner protective card insert emptied from its contents, and just taking a look right here. So some mounting thumb screws and pegs or bushes right there, just setting it down. So finally, those are all the contents from Noctua's NH-L12S CPU cooler. Okay, so let's start off giving you another look here at the contents, just doing some neatening up of the items, so making sure that they're in good clear view in the video right there. And of course there are several booklets here giving you a close-up look right here at Noctua's NH-L12S CPU cooler. There seems to be 3 types of user manual for different CPU types right there, as you can see, with the red label on the right corner of each of these user manuals. So different instructions for different CPU types. So always make sure you read through before attempting to install or fit the CPU cooler. So just going to take a close-up look at just this one for the LGA115X CPU socket types, and actually giving you a look at the back as well so you have some idea right there. So everything is so neatly laid out in clear detail. So you can see very, very tidy diagrams and instructions on how one would go about installing the CPU cooler for the respective CPU socket type. So this one, as you can see, is for the LGA115X. And taking a look at the rear right there, flowing through for your reference purposes, of course. You should always, as I mentioned, read it first, but should you displace or need to look up some details, this video is here for you for the LGA115X socket type. So there are the two others, which is for the AMD and LGA20XX, but I'm not going to go through those because that will just take a little too much time. And now, just taking a look here at the CPU itself, so you can see the aluminium fin stack at the top. So it does have a low profile design, but it also can be arranged with the fan above so that you have 45 millimeters of clearance from your RAM should you have a tight fitting layout inside your CPU case or computer case. And of course there's a protective cap there. Let's just leave it there for now, and I'm just going to slide this inner protective cardboard out so you have a nice clear view of the rest of the CPU cooler. So it does have a nice weight to it. So altogether it is 520 grams in weight with the fan attached, but without the fan attached it is 390 grams. So the fan itself is 120 grams in weight. So this fan is the Noctua NF-A12x15. So it does have a maximum rotational speed of 1850 RPM, but that can be reduced using the low noise adjuster, which reduces it to 1400 RPM. So they're giving you a nice clear look. I'm just going to put that clear protective cap nearby, keep it handy because I will place the CPU cooler on the tabletop in just a moment. So giving you a nice good look right there. So very, very large unit, resting it in my palm. So weighing just a little over half a kilo with the fan attached, and you can see those heat pipes right there. So giving you a nice close-up look at this very finely finished CPU cooler or processor heatsink. So giving you a look to that finish as well. It's a near mirror finish with a sunburst pattern. You can see radiating from the center of that base plate right there. So it is a copper base plate. And I believe it is nickel plated. So just giving you close-up looks at this work of art of a heatsink. So it is quite a big beast as well, but however, having a low profile design and utilizing a 120mm fan right here. So the fan measures 15mm or 15mm in height, or 1.5 centimeters. So it's Noctua's really well designed fan, so it does incorporate an advanced acoustic optimization design. Just giving you looks all around at this fan. As much detail as I can up close. And at a distance as well, to give you a bit more perspective. So the height of this heatsink is 70mm, and the maximum width or length here is 146mm, and then the narrower side is 128mm. So 128mm, 146mm, and 70mm. So those are the dimensions of this heatsink. And I think just trying to give you, and hopefully not miss out any of the aspects of this low profile CPU cooler. So of course, as I mentioned, the fan can be removed and placed on top should you need more clearance of up to 45mm, should you have RAM in the way or close to your CPU. And just to give you some idea of this finely finished CPU cooler, and taking an even closer look at the base plate or bottom of this CPU cooler right there. And right there, giving you another look further out. And I'm going to place my other hand on top of it just to give you some idea of the size and scale of this heatsink. So taking a closer up look at Noctua's NF-A12x15 fan with the advanced acoustic optimized design. So you can see it does have these integrated anti-vibration pads, so they feel like silicone to me. And then the stepped inlet right there. to improve airflow and of course to minimize drag and resistance. And you can see the fan blades do have those grooved channels in them as well. So these little features that give the Noctua fans that edge over its competitors. And also on the inside rim there are micro channels as well on the inside frame of this Noctua fan. Okay, so I'm just going to replace that cap on the bottom so I can place it on the tabletop without damaging that really fine finish and affecting any performance of the CPU cooler. So giving you a look right there of the Noctua NH-L12S, and of course just a quick look at this accessory pack. So you can see that it does come with a low noise adapter. That's for reducing the fan's maximum speed or RPM and bring it down from 1850 to 1400. So the minimum operating speed of the fan is 450 and maximum speed without the low noise adapter is 1850. So you can see inside this pack there is Noctua's NT-H1 thermal paste. So all the accessories and of course fittings that one might need for the required socket type or processor platform. So right there giving you a look. Once again, very nicely finished bars that go behind or on the motherboards. For mounting the CPU cooler onto. It's right there. The mounting bars. And of course over here, 2 packets of screws and the pegs or grommets. For the different mounting or socket types. So now let's test the CPU cooler by running a 2-minute CPU stress test using Intel's Extreme Tuning utility.